Have you ever felt completely powerless, like the world is moving forward without you, and no matter what you do, nothing seems to change? I'm here to tell you that feeling powerless is not a permanent state. It's a signal that you need to shift your energy, that you need to stop giving your power away to situations, people, and even your own thoughts. Today, I'm going to show you how to transform that sense of weakness into unstoppable momentum by learning to take control of the only thing you truly can, your energy. When you feel powerless, it's a signal from your mind and body. It's not a weakness, it's a warning telling you that you've been giving your energy away. And here's the truth: real power never comes from controlling what's outside of you. Real power begins with control over yourself, over your thoughts, your emotions, your focus, your energy. That's where your life starts to shift. Most people, when they feel powerless, do the exact wrong thing. They try to force control over situations, over people, over outcomes they can't influence. They push, they argue, they fight, and all they end up doing is burning energy on things that will never yield control. You've felt it, haven't you? That frustration when nothing seems to work no matter how hard you try. That tension that creeps into your chest. That voice in your head telling you that life is unfair. That is the feeling of misdirected energy. But here's the breakthrough: energy is neutral. Energy doesn't know fear or anger. It simply flows to where your attention is focused. If you focus on what's wrong, your energy feeds what's wrong. If you focus on what matters, your energy builds strength, clarity, and momentum. So the first step is awareness. Take a moment right now and ask yourself, where is my energy going? Are you spending it worrying about what others think of you? Are you ruminating over past failures, over mistakes you cannot change? Are you letting frustration, fear, or anger dictate your actions? Most people don't even realize how much energy they're giving away. It's leaking out in small, silent ways. The negative thoughts, the complaints, the wasted hours scrolling endlessly, comparing themselves to others, wishing things were different instead of taking the action they can take. Once you identify the leak, you can redirect your energy to areas where it actually matters. Energy is like water, it always flows somewhere. If you pour it into fear, anger, and doubt, it strengthens those feelings and you remain trapped in a cycle of powerlessness. But if you pour it into growth, into action, into self-mastery, suddenly you're no longer powerless. You can't always control the storm, but you can control your own center, your own calm, your own focus. That's where true strength comes from. Every choice you make in these moments counts. Choosing patience over frustration is a small act, but it compounds. Choosing focus over distraction is a small act, but it accumulates. Choosing action over complaint is a small act, but it multiplies. Power is never found in big dramatic gestures. It's found in the accumulation of small, intentional actions that reclaim your energy moment by moment, day by day. The path out of powerlessness is a series of choices about where your energy flows, what you focus on, and what you refuse to waste your energy on. And here's the part most people miss: energy creates momentum. When you start reclaiming your energy, when you begin focusing on what you can control instead of what you can't, it doesn't just shift your mindset, it shifts everything around you. You notice opportunities that were invisible before. You gain clarity in situations that felt chaotic. You attract people, ideas, and circumstances that resonate with your new energy. Momentum doesn't happen by accident. It happens when your energy is intentionally directed. You may not realize it, but even in moments of struggle, you are influencing the world around you. Your energy has an effect, whether positive or negative. Every word you speak, every action you take, every thought you focus on, it radiates outward. Feeling powerless often comes from looking only at outcomes instead of the process. You stare at what you cannot control and forget that you can control yourself, your energy, and your focus. That is where power is born. This is not theory. This is a practice. Every single day, you must become aware of where your energy is going. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or draining me? Is this action moving me forward or holding me back? Am I responding with focus or reacting with frustration? Awareness creates choice. Choice creates power. And power is the antidote to feeling powerless. The beautiful thing is that this power is available to you in every moment. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to hand it to you. You don't need circumstances to change. All you need is the willingness to take your energy back and direct it with intention. Every time you do, even in the smallest way, you step out of the prison of powerlessness and into your own authority. And here's the final truth of this first keynote: the shift isn't external, it's internal. You may not control the people around you, the chaos in your environment, or the challenges life throws at you. But you do control the way you respond, the energy you give, and the focus you choose. When you take responsibility for your energy, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming the architect of your life. The energy you reclaim is like fuel. It builds momentum. It creates clarity. It strengthens your decisions. It allows you to act with precision, confidence, and authority. What once felt like a cage now becomes a platform. What once felt like helplessness now becomes opportunity. What once felt like chaos now becomes clarity. And it all begins with that first step: recognizing that you've been giving your energy away. and consciously choosing to take it back. From this point forward, every time life tries to make you feel powerless, remember this: power is not in controlling the outside world. Power is in mastering yourself. Power is in reclaiming your energy and directing it with purpose. That is the foundation of unstoppable momentum. That is where transformation begins. That is the moment you stop feeling powerless and start feeling alive. When you feel powerless, it's easy to convince yourself that nothing you do matters. You think the world is too big, the problem's too overwhelming, and your actions too small. But here's the truth: even when you feel powerless, you are always influencing something. You are always affecting outcomes, people, and situations, whether you realize it or not. Energy never disappears. Every choice you make, every thought you think, every action you take sends ripples into the world around you. You may not control the outcome, but you always control the energy you contribute. Feeling powerless often comes from focusing too much on what you cannot control. You look at the results, the circumstances, the people, and the obstacles, and it feels like there's nothing you can do. But outcomes are the product of 1,000 small actions, 1,000,000 small energies coming together. And your energy is one of them. Even when the world feels chaotic and unyielding, the energy you bring to it matters. Your calm in a storm can soothe others. Your clarity can illuminate a path for someone else. Your persistence can inspire action in ways you might never see. The impact of your energy is often invisible in the moment, but it is never meaningless. The key is to stop measuring your influence by immediate results and start measuring it by presence and intent. Are you giving your energy consciously, or are you leaving it scattered and reactive? Most people give away their energy without realizing it. They react to anger with anger, frustration with frustration, fear with fear. They allow the chaos around them to dictate their mood, their decisions, their focus. And when they do, they feel powerless. But when you step back and choose your energy, when you decide where it goes instead of letting it be hijacked, you start influencing your world in ways that truly matter. Let me be clear. Influence doesn't mean manipulation. It doesn't mean controlling others. Influence is subtle, but it's profound. It starts from within. When you shift your energy, you become the anchor in a sea of chaos. You become the calm in a storm. People feel it. Opportunities feel it. Life responds to it. And that is how the powerless start to reclaim their power. Here's the secret most people never understand. The outcomes you care about are never fully within your control, but the energy you put into the process is. When you focus on what you can do instead of what you can't, your energy starts a chain reaction. Even small, consistent actions begin to influence events and people around you. You may not see it immediately, but momentum builds quietly. Like dropping a pebble to water, the ripples expand far beyond what you can perceive, and those ripples eventually lead to the results you desire. This is the principle of working from the center outward. Start with yourself. Focus on your energy, your thoughts, your actions. Make them intentional. Make them deliberate. Make them powerful. When you do, the world begins to respond. You don't need to control the situation to influence it. You don't need permission to impact your environment. Your energy is already a force, whether you use it consciously or waste it unconsciously. And this isn't just theory, it's practical. In every interaction, you influence something. A conversation, a smile, a word of encouragement, or even the way you handle stress, all of these shape the environment around you. People pick up on energy. Situations respond to it. The more conscious you are of where your energy goes, the greater your influence becomes. And the amazing part is, this works even when the external world seems to resist you. When everyone else is panicking, losing control, or giving up, your calm and focused energy becomes a stabilizing force. You start to create outcomes indirectly simply because your energy aligns with purpose and clarity. Most people wait for permission or the perfect moment to act, and they end up doing nothing. But you don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You only need awareness and intentionality. Ask yourself, where is my energy going right now? What am I focusing on, and what is being drained from me? How can I direct my energy toward influence, action, and clarity instead of fear, frustration, or distraction? These questions are simple, but they change everything. Every time you consciously redirect your energy, you reclaim power, even if the external world hasn't changed a bit. Here's another truth: influence multiplies. One person's focused energy inspires another. One act of calm ripples through a team, a family, or a community. One clear decision motivates others to act with clarity. Influence doesn't require domination or loud gestures. It requires presence, consistency, and energy directed with purpose. And the more you practice this, the more you realize that you are never truly powerless. You are always shaping outcomes, guiding possibilities, and impacting the world around you, even in ways you cannot immediately see. The moment you internalize this principle, the feeling of powerlessness begins to dissolve. You start to see that the world is not happening to you. It is happening with you. You start to recognize that every thought, word, and action carries weight, and your energy is the tool you have to shape it. You don't need control over the outcome. You need mastery over your energy. That is where real power begins. So when you feel powerless, remember this: you are already influencing something. Every reaction, every choice, every thought is a force. You can choose to use it wisely or waste it unknowingly. Influence is not loud. Influence is not flashy. Influence is subtle, consistent, and intentional. And when you harness it, the ripple effects are unstoppable. Powerlessness is a perception, not a reality. The moment you consciously redirect your energy, the reality shifts, your world shifts, your impact grows, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, what once seemed impossible becomes possible. What once felt like chaos becomes opportunity. What once seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. And all of this begins with the simple act of reclaiming your energy and using it intentionally to influence the world around you. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to wait for circumstances to align. Your energy is already a force. The moment you claim it, direct it, and align it with purpose, you become the catalyst for change. You become the calm in the storm, the steady hand in chaos, and the force that moves outcomes without needing to control them. That is the essence of power in moments of seeming helplessness. Shifting your energy, moving from feeling powerless to feeling unstoppable doesn't happen by accident. It happens through awareness and practice. Most people think power is something they are either born with or it's something the world gives them. But that's a lie or is cultivated. True power is a habit. True power is built moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought. And it begins with awareness, the simple, conscious recognition of where your energy is going. Awareness is the first step. Without it, your energy is like a river with no banks, spilling everywhere, uncontrolled, wasted. Most people live in a fog, reacting unconsciously to situations and people. They give energy to anger, frustration, worry, and fear without realizing it. They allow their emotions to dictate their actions, and then they wonder why they feel powerless, trapped, exhausted. But when you become aware, everything changes. Awareness is noticing the moment before your energy is hijacked. Awareness is asking yourself, am I responding from strength or from fear? Am I acting intentionally or am I reacting blindly? Awareness is the light switch that illuminates where your energy is going so you can finally take control. Once you are aware, practice becomes the next step. Awareness alone is not enough. You have to practice directing your energy intentionally. It's like training a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Each time life challenges you, each time someone tries to push you into frustration or despair, you practice choosing your response. You practice pausing before reacting. You practice focusing your energy where it matters. At first, it feels awkward. At first, it feels unnatural. You'll notice old habits trying to pull you back. But persistence is the key. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Soon, controlling your energy is second nature. You stop being reactive. You start being intentional. This practice is not about perfection. It's about progress. You will have moments when your energy is scattered, when fear or anger seeps back in, when frustration wins. That is part of the process. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel defeated. Each misstep is simply feedback, a signpost pointing to where awareness is needed. Each time you catch yourself, each time you redirect your energy, you strengthen the habit. Power is built in the repeated, deliberate choice to reclaim your energy even when circumstances are against you. Here's the thing about energy, it compounds. Every time you redirect your energy toward focus, clarity, and intentional action, it creates momentum. The next challenge is easier to face because your energy is already aligned. You begin to notice patterns. You start to see the difference between situations you can influence and those you cannot. You learn where to pour your energy and where to hold it back. And with each small victory, your sense of power grows. The helplessness that once defined your experience begins to shrink, replaced by confidence, calm, and clarity. Awareness and practice also teach you the power of choice. In any situation, you always have choices. You can choose frustration or patience. You can choose anger or calm. You can choose distraction or focus. These choices may seem small, almost insignificant, but they define the way your energy moves through life. Your energy is like a force field. It either propels you forward or pulls you backward. When you master the art of consciously directing it, you transform from someone who feels powerless to someone who is unstoppable. Another critical aspect of this practice is understanding that power is internal, not external. You may not be able to control the people around you, the chaos in the environment, or the problems life throws at you. But you can always control your response. You can always control the energy you bring to every situation. That internal mastery creates a ripple effect outward. People respond differently to you. Situations unfold with more clarity. Decisions become easier. And opportunities that were invisible before now appear in plain sight. The external world may remain unpredictable, but your relationship to it becomes deliberate, controlled, and powerful. Consistency is everything. This isn't about one inspirational moment or one motivational speech. It's about building a consistent habit of awareness and energy management. It's about checking in with yourself multiple times a day. Where is my energy going? Is it being used wisely? Over time, these small check-ins create a profound transformation. You stop being at the mercy of your emotions. You stop being a victim of circumstance. You stop giving your power away unconsciously. Instead, you step into your life as a conscious creator, directing your energy toward what matters most. And here's the final truth. Energy is your greatest asset. It is more valuable than money, more powerful than talent, more transformative than luck. How you manage it determines the quality of your life, the impact you have, and the legacy you leave. When you practice awareness and intentionality, you reclaim this most precious asset. You stop being a passive observer of your life and become an active participant, shaping your reality from the inside out. The practice of energy mastery is also liberating. It removes the illusion of control over external circumstances. When you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your focus, your energy, you free yourself from frustration, disappointment, and resentment. You realize that true power never comes from changing the outside world. It comes from mastering the inside world. And that mastery transforms not just your life, but the lives of everyone around you. So commit to this practice. Be aware, be deliberate, redirect your energy intentionally. Build the habit day by day, moment by moment. Let your energy become a weapon of clarity, focus, and unstoppable momentum. In time, you will look back and see that the moments that once left you feeling powerless were simply the training ground for the unstoppable force you have become. Powerlessness will no longer define you. Your energy will define you. And that energy, once mastered, can never be taken away.